King Creek. We're still working on harvesting here yet this episode. Got the John Deere 4400 working on sunflowers on field 53. And so far, everyone, maybe I shouldn't say this, might jinx ourselves here, but so far, Courseplay is working perfectly on this field, unloading the combine. Lines up with the combine, unloads it every time, hasn't crashed into it, hasn't caused anything serious or anything like that so far. Pretty much tell it to drive, set it, forget it, walk away, and Courseplay is still working when you come back. I don't know if that sounds like a Christmas miracle. That sounds like a Christmas miracle to me if I've ever heard of one there, everyone, when it comes to Courseplay. So, anyway, field 55 is done. Courseplay finished up that field also flawlessly, I might add. And we're heading over to field 54 here next. Going to get Courseplay going on this field with the, yeah, that old red contraption here. That probably won't be red much longer. We'll have to see what's here. I'm sure it's going to lose its paint at some point. I'm not sure what point it loses its paint. Apparently, I'm thinking it's fairly sudden. So, at some point, everyone, there's not going to be a red combine on this field. But anyway, until then, let's get going here. We're going to course. I might have a course already. Let's check this first. Field 54. 5 no, that's 55. 54. There we go. 5.6 meter harvest. Yes, we do have a course. Okay. Load that up here a minute. And then we should have an unload. That's a self-unload. 54 unload. I think 54 unload. That's probably actually what I want. We're actually going to run an unload course here. So rather than having the combine go to the source to unload, we're going to have the source come to the combine. Or the trailer, truck in this case, come to the combine. Hopefully that'll work with the truck. We'll find out. Hopefully, we'll see. Anyway, speaking of which, let's turn off the self-unload here. And tell them to drive the course. Oh, he's slowing down for traffic. Well, okay, that's a quick unload right there. Okay, and speaking of the truck here, let's get the Courseplay course loaded up on this here as well. So we're going to put you in that mode. Then we're going to load up field 54 unload. I'm pretty sure this is the course. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. So we're going to go with that. Let's start you at the unload. Oop, that was unload. Drive course. And let's see what's... Oh, we need to set the combine. Yes, set the combine. That's going to be the 14 series. There we go. And yes, I got one pallet of seeds over here yet. Need to make sure I remember that next time. Didn't quite use all the pallets of seed up there. And like I said, I accidentally had bought 2. Actually, I think I bought 4 pallets of seed. Started using those and like, oh, wait a minute. That's right. I got pallets of seed over here yet. So I did use up most of them. Just there's the one left yet. Oh, you know what? Should we bail this? Probably wouldn't be a terrible idea. Maybe I might just bail that field there. Combine. Oh boy, 4,400. What? What's he saying? Okay, I take back what I just said, everyone. I take back what I just said. Yep. Forget what I just said earlier this episode, everyone. Yep. When we started this episode, I did not say that. Nope. Horseplay up to its usual. Horseplay. Let's do the correction there. Horseplay up to its usual shenanigans. That is interesting, because that actually is the first time that Courseplay was actually messed up on this field there. Courseplay actually has been doing a pretty good job. I've been actually quite surprised here compared to the past, everyone. If you remember, like Nowhere, Kansas, and some other series like that, where we try to get Courseplay to unload the combine, and it is just a hair-pulling, language-exploring disaster, shall we say. Okay, we'll leave the combine to that. I am currently still working on chopping field 61 here yet, everyone. We're making progress here, slowly but surely. Just finished unloading this here before I started recording. Probably good enough on the headlands here. I think this is the last headland here. All this good. We'll start going up and down the field. I think we've got ourselves enough room to turn around here. Okay, let's handle that pretty good. And at least what I did last time seemed like it worked out pretty good. I just kind of picked a spot here and started going straight up and down the field. And I mentioned this would be much easier with GPS. Oh well, no GPS yet. And I'll have to say, by the way, I'm quite relaxing here. Sitting here just chopping the field here with a chopper. Rather enjoyable. A lot more enjoyable, per se, than, say, that one row, or is that 2 rows? That might have been 2 rows. Whatever that little chopper was there, I forget if it was 1 or 2 rows. This is definitely much more bearable than that chopper was. That chopper, that was a little brutal there, everyone. And we did actually get that to work with Courseplay there. Unfortunately here, at least the last time I tried it, it did not work with Courseplay. I don't know why people probably can't sell that crossing at this point, but not that it's maybe necessarily the chopper's fault. It might actually be more Courseplay's fault. Or either that, I've got something else going on mod conflict-wise. Because again, I can't hire a worker with this. The hired worker on that chopper doesn't work. Courseplay doesn't work with it anymore. I don't know. Maybe it's Courseplay's fault. I don't know. It could be. Seems logical, right? Playing Courseplay. Oh, momentary lag spikes there. Wonder what Courseplay's up to. Probably doing some unloading somewhere, if I had to guess. Say not bad for a straight line here. No, oh boy, missed the stock. Well, I didn't see that. Nothing to see there. Not bad for no GPS for a straight line, if you ask me. I mean, it's not perfect, but it'll do. And by the way, for those of you who actually want to see me use GPS on this map, we are using GPS on the multiplayer server, which reminder again, too, everyone, if you'd like to join us in on the multiplayer server, you are welcome to do so. Information again down below in the description there. Anyone is welcome to join as long as you can play nicely and follow the rules. Download links for the mods for that server and the other server for that matter as well can all be found in TeamSpeak. So a reminder again too, if you'd like to join us on the multiplayer servers, join us in on TeamSpeak. Once you're in TeamSpeak there, that's where we have all the information for joining the actual server. So again, it's server 3 that has Medicine Creek up on it. We are playing in hard mode, by the way, on that one. I'm playing easy here. I won't say there's probably a whole lot of difference price-wise. There may be a little bit, but it doesn't seem like a whole lot. And we have adjusted the prices of canola and sunflowers down a bit, so they're not quite as OP as they were maybe on this map before. Not that the prices were necessarily OP, I mean, they were just kind of, I think, the default prices, right? But yeah, compared to the map, this map, which the prices are maybe, what, 10% of what they normally are? I'm just estimating roughly that I'm 10%, not sure, but we are also playing with the Precision Farming DLC on that map as well. Definitely struggling a little bit on that one, everyone. That is not going so well on that map. And actually, I wouldn't say it went the greatest on Blue Mountain Valley either when we tried it. We were playing with Blue Mountain Valley with that DLC as well. Don't know if we haven't quite figured out how to use it yet or what's going on, everyone, but we're definitely having some technical issues with that, shall we say. getting to the point, Evan, where I think we're going to try the updated version of this map. Updated version of Madison Creek here, by the way, which is out. For those of you who did not see that, if you're playing on this map, probably would suggest you get the updated version. We plan on probably doing that on the multiplayer server. And probably will be here as well. Although, again, Evan, I'm getting pretty close to wrapping up this series. In fact, I'm thinking next week we probably should start talking maps for the next series. I decided, you know what, we're going to finish this week out as far as episodes go. I'm going to just, you know, the holidays, New Year's, Christmas, all that good stuff, right? Kind of busy, so we'll wait until we get into the new year. And then need to maybe start looking for new map to play on. So, again, you folks are welcome to throw out some suggestions here. What I'm thinking at this point now is probably one more week's worth of episodes on this map, and then hopefully we'll look at a new map here the following week. Again, like I just get ourselves past Christmas and New Year's, everything's busy. And of course, everyone, if you haven't realized, again, this week here, I have pre-recorded most of the episodes for this week. That way, as far as New Year's goes and the weekend that follows, I've got that time off. Although we will be most likely live streaming for at least some of it. Just won't be recording any of my Madison Creek series videos here. Okay, we'll read some comments here in a moment. Peyton was saying you should use Sid Modding's John Deere 8900. Sid Modding's John Deere 8900. I don't know if he's referencing the 8970. I'm assuming that's the one here. I believe Sid Modding did work on this. Or no, this was custom modding. Okay, custom modding's 8970. Okay, I'm not sure what 8900 he's actually. Modding might have had an 8900 series as well, didn't he? The one we have from Custom Modding here is definitely way overpriced. We discussed this like an episode or two back. So won't be using that tractor, or if we do, we need to adjust the price down significantly. Oh my goodness, what's going on here now? Ay, ay. Come on, Courseplay. Courseplay worked really nice off-screen here. I mean, I assure you, Courseplay worked perfectly. Did not have a single issue. Then, of course, as soon as we start recording Courseplay, like, let's play Smash 'em Up, Wreck 'em Up Derby here, huh? Courseplay. Alex is saying, your videos are great, and Happy New Year's to you. Hey, thank you very much for that there, Alex. And wishing everyone a Happy New Year's here as well. I know this episode's going to be a couple days later. At least at the time I'm recording this episode, though, it is still 2020. Chavello was saying the Massey Ferguson is a beauty. Don't judge. Ferguson is a beauty. Don't judge. Well, I don't think I disagree with that yet, can I? I'm not even sure the Massey Ferguson's at this point. But whatever it is. I'll save my reservations until I see what the paint and dirt looks like on it. Actually, we could tweak it a little bit and see what it looks like right away if we wanted to. But we'll hold off on that. Christopher was saying good video and good morning. Good morning there as well, and thank you for that there, Christopher. Little Jimmy was saying hello. Jim was saying great video, keep up the great work. Might want to look into a Ford or an Ellis Chalmers tractor next time. I was thinking the same thing there on the board. Actually, I mentioned that last episode already. I'll look at the Ford tractor or something here. We'll see once. Of course, I'm going to get into her. Kind of getting close to wrapping up this series. I don't know. We'll have to see what's here. Sean was saying, and actually, you know what? Alan and Sean were both saying you should have got the Case 5488. You're going to replace the Farmall with the 5488. Probably the only reason I didn't do that was that tractor I think looked a little better to me than going forward with this series. Didn't look like a terrible tractor, just looked a little too new for maybe the rest of the equipment we're using on the series here so far. Forrest was saying you should get a 70 series pace tractor. I don't know if I have any of those or not. I'd have to look. Unless you happen to see one in my list there, Boris. Very well might. Just don't remember. Emily was saying, nice video. Thank you very much for that. Jack was asking, where did you get that John Deere 7200 series planter? I am not sure where that planter came from. Again, probably Facebook would be my guess, everyone. I'm not sure on that. I don't think I have a download link for that in my mod list either. Ross W was saying Tired Iron is modding is the one that released the 4020 update. I released an update to my large frame pack. Okay. Ross W, by the way, he's the one that released the large frame pack there. Definitely check that out. Again, one of my more favorite series of John Deere tractors there. In particular, I always like the, and this wasn't actually technically in this pack, hopefully, but one of the other packs, they're the 4840. But I always kind of include those together, you know, the 40, 50, 55, 60 series. They all kind of look very similar to each other. You know, some minor differences here and there. Okay, that does it for kind of the, what I call the odd section of the field there. And the rest of this is mostly rectangular. Oh, 1480 is in traffic. Oh, boy. Tell me the truck is getting in the way over there, too, yet. And I'm telling you, folks, off-screen Courseplay worked perfectly. Perfectly. Not so much for that, everyone. Or just hang out in the truck. I'm not sure where that truck wants to go, but it doesn't look like it's going to be for good. Or are we still trying to unload yet? No, we're probably okay. Yep, not my full yet. Okay. Well, then, it looks like I might have spoke a little too quick here on the start of this episode. I take back what I said. Yep. Take it back. And I was just starting to hope, everyone, that maybe Courseplay had fixed all of the shenanigans here with the recent updates. And the Courseplay developers have definitely been putting a lot of work into my understanding here on getting new path finding and all that stuff working here. I mean, that's great and all if it works. Not so great if it doesn't. Farmer was saying you should look at a 7100 John Deere two-wheel drive to replace your old style John Deere. John Deere 7100, eh? I don't think a John Deere 7100 would actually be as large as our current John Deere X60 tractor. Again, I mean, that's a 280 horsepower tractor. We'd probably have to go like a 7 or 8R to actually get, actually probably more like an 8R. To get that size. Well, I guess you could do a 7R if you did the high horsepower 7R, right? Get that size, that horsepower tractor. Joe sent me a mod here for the Great Vehicle Wash. This works great, free of charge. Sit in the vehicle, hit the insert key. Vehicle is washed. Ow. Sounds a little deep, like it. Okay, there we go. And we'll just sneak through here. Actually, while we're going by, what's the milk look like here? 29,000 liters. Not too bad. Considering we just sold it here, was that a couple episodes back? Fishing in School was saying I was looking at the XML file for Precision Farming DLC, and it said different soil types also affect different crop types. So even if you have perfect in nitrogen and lime, it can be a low yield depending on the crop and the soil. By the way, great videos. Hope you're having a good holiday. Hey, thank you very much for that there, Fishing and School. And that probably would be true there, Fishing in School, except for what we're noticing on the multiplayer server here. And we noticed this on Blue Mountain Valley as well. Our yields never quite figured out. Our assumption on Blue Mountain Valley was the yield map just was not right. And that was kind of my assumption as well. But then now that we're playing Medicine Creek and we're playing around with it a little more of it, I'm fairly certain the yield map is right. It's just, why are we getting the yields we're getting? We don't quite understand that. What we noticed, what is fairly consistent, is a 65% yield across the board. The entire field will be 65%. Doesn't matter the nitrogen level, doesn't matter the lime level. We could have the lime and nitrogen perfect, or so it says, and still get 65% yield. And like I said, it'll be 65% yield across the entire field. It doesn't change. And at least to my understanding, from what I have been told, everyone, the 65% yield is the default yield, meaning that's the yield you get if it doesn't, you know, if the nitrogen, or I don't know. If things are not right, 65% is what you get. Now, you could potentially get worse yields, you know, if your lime and pH are, well, lime and pH are both the same, I guess, technically. But your pH and your nitrogen are really bad. You could potentially get a worse yield, but in this case, we're not getting that either. And like I said, it's a lot of times we're getting the default 65% yield for some reason. And at least playing around with it, trying different combines, sometimes resetting the yield map, doing different stuff like that, everyone. We can actually get the yield to bump up. And I think I mentioned that earlier this week here, actually last week now, I guess, technically. We were harvesting field, actually, no, let's go look at the number here. Field 12 here. We were harvesting field 12 on the multiplayer server here. The long portion of the field here we harvested with one combine. And then when we got to the shorter section of the field here, we harvested that with a different combine. The different combine was getting 125% yield. The other combine was only getting 65% yield. And it wasn't the part of the field that mattered. We could bring the other combine over to the 125% yielding area of the field, and we still got 65%. And we confirmed the yield as well by doing two passes right next to each other. Both combines both did the same pass. Again, the one combine got 65% yield, like 2,000 liters of sunflowers or something like that. The other combine did 125% yield and got like 4,300 or something like that sunflowers, if I remember correctly. So, again, basically over double the yield. So again, I'm pretty sure the yield maps are right. It's just we're not figuring out why we're getting the 65% yield thing. The 65% yield thing, again, to me indicates that something is wrong. And when I say wrong, I don't necessarily mean that the nitrogen and pH are wrong. It's just that it's the Precision Farming DLC is not correctly calculating our yields. It's not recognizing something is wrong. Straight up wrong. Oh, let's see, how are we looking on the fermenting silo here, by the way? Chaff is 410,000. Wow, we're almost full on that silo there. Let's see, I think 2 more loads here and it'll probably be full. And there's probably more than 2 loads out here. Actually, we might be able to get 3. 30,000 liters? I think 30,000 liters in this silage box. And I know it's in tons here. Again, I'm using the unit convert mod. Unit convert, by the way, you can find that on my mod list. Or should be able to anyway. Yep, it's laggy again. Everyone, Courseplay is probably doing some calculations somewhere. I'm not sure which one of the combines, but unfortunately, it does get that way. rather interesting. I never used to have that in the past when it came to Courseplay, when it came to Courseplay calculating its path around a field. It never got laggy in the past. Now all of a sudden here in the more recent versions, now it gets laggy all of a sudden. You know, again, I want to have to say, doing this chopping here, rather therapeutic. Just, oh boy, look out. Just going up and down the field like that there. We'll wait for Courseplay to go past there. Okay. We'll have to see when that might cause a problem, everyone. Yep. Oops. Oh, actually, you know what? If that is a problem, everyone, I can actually use the easy development controls there to just, like, purge that trail. We'll have to do that here if that is a problem. You know, something like where this tool really comes in handy. And I got to remember it's here, everyone, because I forget about it quite a bit. I can use this tool to do all kinds of things. Cheap money. Not that I don't know anything about that one. Obviously, we have not done any of that here in this series. Well, let's unload. You know what? Let's go check and see how the rest of the combines are going here. You know, back up to this part of the field. I'll have to say, when playing multiplayer and single player on this map, I keep getting confused on what part of the map here. If I hop on the multiplayer server, I'm always wanting to go up to this part of the map here and like, oh, wait a minute. No, that's right. We're multiplayer. We're playing down in this portion of the map. Well, you know, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 2, and 1 are the fields we're running there. Yep, looks like we're still harvesting there. Excellent. How are we looking over here on the John Deere 4400? Still harvesting here. Oh, you know what? That's right. I forgot. I was going to get a baler going 55, didn't I? Yeah, I'll maybe do that off screen then. We'll just continue chopping here. Yeah, it is lag. Of course, they'll stop doing whatever it's doing there. Yeah, okay. Now it's getting better. That's better. For those who didn't see my computer upgrade, by the way, I am now running an RTX 3080. That brings that poor RTX 3080 to its knees there at 15 frames. And I don't know what Courseplay's doing, but it's doing something. And this definitely is no gain to be taking advantage of a graphics card like that. That being said, definitely liking it so far, everyone. Definitely noticing some pretty good improvements, especially on the editing side of the videos here. Could be wrong here, but it just seems like it is way faster. I'd actually have to, like, get a time on that, but that would require knowing what the times were on my old hardware. Rather interesting unload while we were turning around there. What's up with that, but whatever. Must have come across a little bit of crop in the field there. It goes to show what I've said in the past. Just because you do not see standing crop in the field does not actually mean there's something there yet. Just the way the game works here with its overlays. You can see the crop go down, and you'll not be able to see any visually standing crop, but you can still go across the field, and if there's a missing spot, again, the missing spot might not be large enough to show crop, but it might be large enough that your combine, harvester, whatever, will pick up on it and harvesting. Another feature, again, just how the game works. Essentially, the resolution of the images that are used to overlay the data on the map here. Which, at least for anyone curious, on a regular map, I believe that's 2048 by 2048. And on a 4-ax map like this, it should be 4096 by 4096, if I remember correctly. And you can actually see the position that down in the map there. So 1113 by 295 there. And about 301 now. Anyway, but looking at the time here, looks like it is time to wrap it up here for this series. So on that note, if folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them down below. And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time.